Hey guys, Christopher here, and welcome to part 3 of How to Pixel Art. And I thought we would cover dithering in this episode. So, show you what dithering is. We'll get a nice little basic sort of shape here. Got it coming out a bit more. Okay, clean this up a bit. Obviously, I make this stuff up as I go, so that's why I will be erasing and doing things on the fly. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so we got sort of an old school potion sort of vibe going here. And I'll just add a little bit of color in here. Let's make it a mana potion. Mana's always blue, right? That's, laws of physics. Here we go, put this in here. Might need to go a deeper blue. More mana, more power. Okay, so that's probably enough. Now I can fill this in. Okay, so with the shading technique that I showed you last episode, you could go in here and you could just outline sort of a base, and then you'll show it like a bit darker. And you'll see it starts to give a little bit of depth to it, and you could go down the side here as well if you wanted to, and you'll start giving this the flask a little bit of shape to it. Now dithering is something that they used to do. Oh, well, you can still do it now, obviously, but something they used to do gradual sort of shading, because they were limited in color. So rather, with traditional shading, you would go from this color through this color, and you would do the colors that are in between, and that's how you would create a smooth blend. Back then, they were limited with their colors, so they came up with a technique called dithering. And what this is if I start again, get rid of all this, and then I go to the darker color again, I can actually go in here and leave little gaps like this. And now I can go in here and do this. And you could also even start it with a bit more solid, and then you could go through right into spaced out, and then you could start to do that even more, like starting to skip to every second one, for instance. And now if you have more room, obviously you could keep going up further and further. Dithering is good these days in less amounts, so be a little bit sparing with it. I mean, this used to show up a bit differently on the old CRT monitors. So once upon a time, this used to look like, I guess, a smooth blend. But these days, you can obviously, in our HD screens, you can see each individual pixel, so it starts to look a little bit blocky. So some of you might like this technique of just combining it in there, just ever so slightly. I push it back. Okay, so that, for instance, to me is pretty good. I'm going to come back here. Could even do the same back the other way. Come through here. Get that one there. Okay, kind of running out of room there because this is such a low res image, but you could theoretically put just a little bit in there, and that's not too bad. It's just an alternate method. I mean, it's something to be used sparingly. When you've got larger backgrounds and that sort of thing, a little bit of dithering does actually go a long way. For this smaller stuff, I just wanted to really show you what exactly it is, and how you can utilize it. For example, for this actual image, I don't know if I'd even actually use dithering myself. I probably would go with the standard sort of more smooth sort of shading. Back to what we had in the original. Something more like that. Okay, I'll see you in part 4.